Hello my little sambas, my name is Velky and welcome to a new weekly Yap video. However, it wasn't really weekly so far because I haven't been uploading for the past month. And firstly, I'd like to apologize for that because I've been extremely busy moving out and it's been difficult to make videos. I've been busy streaming. However, today I have a bit of a shorter video for you since I had the time to make a video for you. So I figured why not? And there is a topic that has caught my attention in the past few days, but I feel like it's something that I've been talking about quite frequently on my stream itself. So for today's topic, we have something very specific and depending on who you ask could be controversial. I don't know. And as a short disclaimer before we get into the topic of this video, or rather said the question of this video, is I want to let you know that everything said in this video, obviously just like other videos, is purely my opinion, how I feel about it, how I think about it. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt, but also at the same time you may agree or disagree. That's totally up to you. But yeah, I figure I'd let you know. Anyway, so for today's video, what we're going to talk about is associating femboys with terms or characteristics that really don't have anything to do with each other. It's a bit of a broad topic and I would like to clarify and elaborate on what I'm trying to say with this. Like, I think a good example would be if someone asks you, hey, can I be a femboy if they put something in there that you feel like, okay, that makes sense to ask, but at the same time, does it really though? And one of those things, for example, would be, hey, can I still be a femboy if I'm not gay? That's, for example, something that I feel like is a valid reason to ask, because at the same time, femboys being gay or femboys associated with being gay is very commonly done because of the fact that a lot of femboys are gay. That's not necessarily untrue. But at the same time, I feel like that the sexuality has generally nothing to do with something that we consider as style/identity, because if you identify something doesn't mean that you have to be sexually attracted to a specific thing that has no correlation to it. And I think femboy has necessarily no correlation to being gay. It just happens that a lot of femboys are gay, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's no femboys that are bisexual, such as myself, or femboys out there that are even straight for that matter. As you might be surprised, they actually do exist. I feel like a lot of people are being led astray by feeling or thinking that they cannot be a femboy because they are not gay, or they're not passing a criteria that generally has nothing to do with it. And there's more than just the sexuality terms that are being used to correlate to whether someone is a valid femboy or not, which I think is a little strange. Things such as weight. Someone said to me once, hey, can I be a femboy if I'm like a little chubby? And I'm like, why not? Someone said, can I be a femboy if I'm like super skinny? Like, don't I have to have like some fat on the thighs? You know, it's like people find femboy thighs attractive, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every femboy has to have like thick ass thighs to be like passing as a femboy. It's a little strange. Then there's also like a factor such as height. I think is a little strange. Some people say like, hey, I'm 6'4", can I still be a femboy? I mean, there's femboys out there that are really tall and they still look really cute and they still look great. I don't really think that that necessarily should be a factor on whether you pass or not. The most crazy one I've heard so far, by the way, and this is actually crazy. People have asked me, can I be a femboy if I'm black or something regarding their race? And I think that's probably one of the craziest questions I've got. And I would like to answer that with a strict yes. You can absolutely be black and be a femboy. You can be any race you want and be a femboy. That has nothing to do with the fact of you being passing or not. These are some of the couple factors that I have heard about, and I'm sure there's couple more that I feel like are completely unrelated to being a femboy, and I don't really think that you should take those into consideration when it comes to being a femboy. It's about you and what you're comfortable with and whether you think you pass and whether you are happy with yourself. If you want to make changes and you want to take it a step further and do certain things to make yourself pass as a femboy, that's up to you. That's your choice. But you shouldn't have to put those standards upon someone else and say like, hey, I don't think that they pass as one just because I said so. That's not really fair. I think everyone should be able to make those guidelines for themselves and find a comfortable zone in where they think they can express themselves. It's your happiness that's important. I'm sorry if this is not really the answer you expected, but at the same time, there is no answer for something like this because it's a question that's being asked that has no correlation to each other. Two factors that generally shouldn't really play a role in a singular question to try and answer the validity of your identity. So with that being said, I think it's very important for you to understand that it's totally okay to be chubby, gay, bi, or straight, tall, black, or white, or Asian for the matter. It doesn't matter. You can be a femboy. At the end of the day, femboy is about being a feminine boy, presenting feminine, being feminine, feeling feminine, and that's it. And or by the way. You know, feeling feminine and or being feminine and or. You don't have to have all of them, but you don't have to like put in certain factors that don't play a role. And neither should you really put that inside your little guideline of how to be a femboy. And yeah, that's all there is to it. Honestly, be happy, enjoy yourself, find something that fits you. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd love to answer them. While you're still here, check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/velky. I talk about this stuff frequently. If you have any other questions, feel free to come by. Also join my Discord at discord.gg/velky, link in the description. And also big thanks to my YouTube and Patreon members for financially supporting me. You guys make it possible for me to make the videos I do today, so thank you very much. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a lovely day. I will see you over on my live channel hopefully one day, and otherwise a new YouTube video soon. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around later. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye.